This is the true story of a remarkable friendship, Owen and Mzee, told by Isabella and Craig Hatkoff and Dr. Paula Kahumbu, with photography by Peter Greste. This is the true story of two great friends, a baby hippopotamus named Owen and a 130-year-old giant tortoise named Mzee. The hippo was not always friends with the tortoise. He wasn't always known as Owen. And Owen was not always famous the world over. But here's how it all happened. Before the baby hippopotamus became known as Owen, he lived with his mother in a group or pod with about 20 other hippos. They fed and wallowed in and around the Sabaki River in Kenya, on the east coast of Africa. When he was about a year old, heavy December rains flooded the river. The racing water washed Owen and his family down the river until the fresh water became salty and the river flowed into the Indian Ocean. For days, the people in the coastal town tried to chase the hippos back up the river, but the hippos were enjoying grazing the grasses along the shore. And since hippos are the most dangerous animals in Africa, and a full-grown adult can weigh as much as 8,000 pounds, there was very little the people could do. One morning, the sea suddenly rushed high onto the beaches, and waves pounded the shore. Many of the villagers' boats were damaged, and many fishermen had to be rescued. Before long, the sea was calm again, but it was frightening for everyone. A day passed before anyone thought to check on the hippos. Now they saw only one hippopotamus was left in the sea, a baby without its mother, stranded on a sandy coral reef among the seagrass. He was tired and frightened, unable to reach the shore on his own. Hundreds of villagers and visitors worked together to help the young hippo. They used boats and ropes and nets and even cars to try to rescue him and bring him safely to shore. With a shark net, they were able to catch him, and a brave visitor named Owen Sobine tackled him, stopping him long enough to let the others secure the net. That's why he has the name Owen. At last, they got him on land, and when they reached the shore, a joyous cheer went up from the thousands of men, women, boys, and girls who were on the beach. Wrapped in the net, Owen was put in the back of a pickup truck and brought to a shady spot. Next, they called Haller Park, an animal sanctuary about 50 miles away near the city of Mombasa. Dr. Paula Kahumbu, the manager, immediately offered Owen a place to live. She explained he'd never be able to return to the wild. He wouldn't know how to fend for himself. So they would welcome him into their hippopod. Dr. Paula knew she would need help. She asked their chief animal caretaker, Stephen Twee, to come along with her. She knew Stephen had a special way with animals. One of the animals that was able to get along with Stephen was Mzee, meaning wise old man in Swahili. He was the oldest creature in the park, about 130 years old. He had been alive since before Stephen's great-grandmother was born, and he was only friendly to Stephen, and he liked to have him tickle him under his chin. Other than that, Mzee kept to himself. When Owen arrived, he was weak and exhausted. He scrambled from the truck, though, directly to Mzee, who was resting in a corner of his enclosure. Owen crouched behind Mzee the way baby hippos often hide behind their mothers for protection. Mzee wasn't real happy about this attention. He hissed at Owen and crawled away. But Owen, who could easily keep up with the old tortoise, didn't give up. Slowly, as the night went on, Mzee began to accept his new companion. And when the park workers checked on them, Owen was snuggled up against Mzee the next morning, and Mzee didn't seem to mind at all. Over the next few days, Mzee continued to crawl away, and Owen continued to follow him. But sometimes it was Owen who would walk away from Mzee, and Mzee would follow. Bit by bit, Mzee grew a bit more friendly. At first, Owen wouldn't eat any of the leaves left out for him. Stephen and the other caretakers were worried he would weaken even more. Then they noticed that Owen was feeding right beside Mzee, and if Mzee was showing him how to eat. Or perhaps Mzee's protective presence helped Owen feel calm enough to eat. No one will ever know, but it was clear that there was a bond between the two. As the weeks went on, they spent more and more time together, and soon they were inseparable. Their bond remains very strong to this day. They swim and eat together. They sleep next to one another. They rub noses. Owen leads the way to different parts of the enclosure, and Mzee leads the way the next time. They playfully nuzzle each other's cheeks. Mzee stretches his neck forward, asking for more, just like he did when Stephen tickled him under the chin. Although they could both easily injure each other, they're both gentle. A sense of trust has grown between them. Owen suffered great loss, but with the help of many caring people and his own resilience, he's begun a happy new life. Mzee has played a remarkable role. We'll never know for sure if Owen sees Mzee as a mother, a father, or just a very good friend, but it doesn't matter. What matters is that Owen isn't alone, and neither is Mzee. And that is the true story of Owen and Mzee, two great friends.